All right, guys, it is about a month in the making, maybe a little better than a month in the making, but this is the Ohio State Championships. Bar box, as you can probably tell, small table, so 7-foot table. There was a lot, felt a lot of anticipation coming into this event and was very excited about it. I came into it feeling really confident. I felt like my game was in a really good place. There was a lot of tumult in my life, but you know, I was doing my best with practice and just staying in stroke and creating a good mindset. I did have a bye in the first round. It's interesting though, because nowhere in the materials did I really understand, it was probably advertised, but I didn't understand that it was a handicap format. I thought it was a straight race, but it's Fargo based. It's all BCA. It's a Fargo based format, and they set it up such that it's the race to 5 hot. And so basically you would put in both Fargo scores. So in this case, it was a 633. I was 633 at the time of the tournament. And my opponent was a 554 at the time of this set. And when you put that into the Fargo system with a race to 5 hot setting, it will spit out the race. This is a tough shot here because I felt like I hit it pretty good, but just a little bit too thin and catches the point to miss. But I needed to, or felt like I had to, slide over and across to get good on the 4. The other thing that I wanted to mention, just sort of a preface, the quality is not great on this video. For the rest of the videos of the Ohio State Championships between 10 ball and 8 ball, it is full HD quality. This one I had to rip from the live stream because the recording was corrupted for some reason. So every once in a while I still have a bit of a recording snafu. It's just, it can be complicated, you know, going out there to try to play your best pool and also manage the camera and recording setup. So I have to go to 6 and Michael has to go to 4. And Michael, as you can see, is a 550. Anybody, in my opinion, anybody 550 plus, they're players, they're shooters, they can get out. So it's tough to give up that weight. He was coming in off of his first round, having won that one, and I had a bye, which is a blessing and a curse as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people will say like, oh, you got to take that win, like you got to just feel good about that. But to me, I'd rather be getting in stroke. I'd rather be playing. So Michael's in stroke, presumably after that first one. But like I said, I'm coming in pretty hot. He misses it to the same corner differently, right? Then, you know, he tried to kind of slide it in off the long rail. But really good opportunity for me to grab this first game. And with the handicaps the way that they are, every little one counts. You really cannot relax on these players. And something that I'm looking back on so much about this match in particular, and part of why I was kind of dreading looking back on this one, because it's been a while. It feels like a lifetime ago that I played in this tournament, even though it's only been like a month and a half real world. But part of why I was kind of dreading looking at this match was the nerves. The nerves that I remember coming up were tremendous in this first round, especially compared to other big events that I've played in. And by big, I mean the number of players, hundreds and hundreds of players in these events. The Stevie Chan tournament that I had gone out for in Colorado a couple of years ago had same kind of big expectations for myself, and I went 2 and out. Just lost the first 2 in a row. Played this one good. I like opening that up, coming into the line. Good options here to get on the 9. But yeah, a lot of what I think the run out here is pretty straightforward, but a lot of what I wanted to talk about at the top was just the nerves that were coming up. They were unbelievable, and you're going to see it come out in my gameplay. Second guessing things and like a hitch in the stroke and not staying super smooth and little mistakes and, you know, all the same kind of things that tend to come up in competition. But man, they really hurt. Not sure why I let this one out so much, but still salvageable. The tables are the Predator tables, as you can see. I had never played on these before coming out for this tournament, and I quite like them, I have to say. They play really smooth. The pockets play fair. I like the lines from the rail into the pockets. That's a good shot. A little funny on the 10, but good stroke there. Probably could have dug into the cue ball a little more. It is call pocket. Early 10s count. Doesn't come up a lot, but nerves, dude. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that. You're gonna see a lot of me like shaking out, just trying to get into my body. I was playing a really nice out there, and I had a pretty routine cut on the 10 ball, one that's very makeable for me most times, one that I practice a lot. He's banking it, which I think was a really interesting decision. There's a couple safe options from here, but he decides to go aggressive and bank it, and he just plays it a little thick. And he puts it in the pocket for me, which I'm going to be glad to have this game. I feel like I fought for it. But still, man, you can't be missing those 10 balls. It is the beginning of not a great tendency in this match. That first missed 10 ball that I had. Hit that one good. Grab that first game. It is alternate break. And Michael brought his template rack. You have the option. Default is the plastic rack as provided, but in the rules and in the player briefing, they also say if your opponent brings the magic rack or the template rack, you're not obligated to use it. You can refuse, but if both players agree, you're welcome to use the template. I'm happy to use the template most of the time. I just appreciate the consistency, and he was, you know, if it's not the case that if he brings it, only he can use it, right? I think it was, you know, both players have to do sort of all or nothing. But I found, without giving anything away, in a later match, using the template rack really afforded me very good consistency on the break, and my cue ball was good. So that led to some great results. Interesting opening here with the 1 ball positioned where it is. Of course, the push is an option, but it doesn't have much of an offensive play. He could try to thin the 1 under the 9 and let the cue ball come back down, or he could send the cue ball thin off the 1 and try to get cover behind the 9. I just don't love the cut on the 1 to try to make it. You're gonna end up above the 3. Yeah, so sending the 1 ball over to hide it gives me a little wave, because I know he realized he was going to end up with some kind of cover. I'm trying to get into my breathing. I think my chair game was not the best. I remember my chair game not being the best during this match. I've got an edge on the 1, but you can't really do too much with it from here. Might have enough of the 1 to do a stop shot and keep the cue ball here and send the 1 ball down and away. Looking at kicking into the 1. The 1's very hittable, but then are you trying to do a kick and stick? Or are you trying to cut the 1? I don't know if the cut angle is on to try to cut it in the bottom right corner, but I just indicate that I'm playing safe. There's no pocket safe in 10 ball, right? If you pocket a ball, your opponent has the option to make you shoot from there. Don't think that's great, guys. I don't really know what the thinking was there with coming into it with so much pace, because you maybe want to send the 1 down table to hide it under all those balls, but it's just a lot that can go wrong. Probably just frustration coming through, to be honest. He's going to lose the cue ball here a little bit, but end up with a look at the 3. Thin back cut on the 3 sends him towards the 6. He might be able to avoid the 6. Swerving around that, but it's a lot of pace. Yeah, he's calling it in the side. It's a lot of pace on this cue ball. Going into the 3 that thin. Nice, so he could get into it full enough that he got away from the 6, but unfortunately rolls into the 10. Pretty unlucky there to end up behind the 10. This could bode really well for me. If I end up getting ball in hand from here. Table's pretty open. You just have to basically stop shot on the 4, stop shot on the 6, stay on the 7 to get down for the proper angle on the 8 to go up to the 9. Nice, he makes a good hit. Didn't call that though. Did he call that? I must have missed him call it. I don't know. Great shot. If you called that. I just didn't see it. I was yapping. If you didn't call it, that's not legal, by the way. But I don't remember seeing it. A good recovery, you know. Pretty monstrous kick shot. Sometimes you'll do that in 10 ball though. Call the just because pocket. If I manage to make it in that pocket, then I continue my run. He's coming across. Thin on the 8, but he's got a good workable angle to come up for the 9. He's gonna put something together here. Still here again, kind of thin on the 9, big angle to come down for the 10, but he could try to hold it, which is risky because then you could miss the 9, or he could come down and back. What do you guys like here? Trying to hold the cue ball? Or do you go down and back? You can go to either side. I think I'd rather, you know me, I love my inside, so I'd rather like do one of these, right? Play for this window. Looks like he's going at it with inside. Oh. Give me a look at it, Michael. I'm not sure what the positional plan was there. Oh, this is the other interesting thing here, guys. I came into this tournament. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I can hit jump shots. Like I tend to play them pretty well. Usually hit the ball, usually get over the ball. In the process of the move and changing everything and just like the tumultuous, transitions in my life, I had completely, this is a good recovery here, I had completely forgotten my jump stroke. So I came into this tournament and I just could not hit the ball. I was not, my normal kind of sidearm jump was not working for me. I just completely fell out of stroke. This is a good situation. I'm up 2, right? So basically it's a race to 4 from here and breaking. I did not use the template, which is interesting. I get punished weirdly for losing my cue ball, so I get kicked in the side. It's interesting to me too, looking back on it, that the nerves are still so bad for me at this point. I should have settled, a lot of shoulds, whatever that's worth, but you're up 2. You gotta beat this guy in a race to 4 in good conditions when you're rested. There's just so much working for you. I just wonder why, outside of the nerves, like psychologically, what else was going on for me in those moments that I wasn't coping with effectively. I don't remember if 3 foul was in play in this tournament. It just doesn't come up that much. I feel like it probably is if he's playing it like this. It's going to end up being a jump shot, most likely. The kick is super tough. What I resorted to more often than not in the course of this tournament, and I don't remember if it happens in this set or not, but I reverted to the dart stroke for my jump shots, which I have found much simpler in terms of at least getting over the ball. You're never going to have the stroke quality, you're never going to have the distance or the power, and then adding spin, certainly for me, just doesn't really come through as easily on the dart stroke. So yeah, grabbing my jump cue here. Pop ahead a little bit. It takes me a minute to figure this out. I think I'm waiting for Dude Man behind me. Yeah, so I guess I'm already clued in, or I'm just too close to the 2 ball to use my sidearm jump anyway. But I just had completely lost my confidence in the jump stroke, so this was a huge mental hurdle, just trying to get the ball in the air. Oh, curved a little bit. Good clearance, got over the 2. I think the intention was get over the 2. He's telling me that I'm on 2. I think normally it doesn't really matter so much, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to tell the opponent when they're incoming. But yeah, get over the 2 ball. The intention was to hit the 1 on the way back like this. I guess I could see him going for 3 fouls here. Probably a similar play to last time, where if you brush the 1, come off that side of it and tuck down there. Otherwise, get a cross table and get behind the 5 or the 6. Looks like he's trying to send the 1 around the 9, which is pretty tough. There's not a lot of room there. So easy to sell this out. Yeah, and he plays it full into the 9, moving the 9 out and giving me access to the 1. The 1's pretty close to frozen if it's not completely frozen. Kind of tough to hold the 1 along the rail. But I think a follow stroke should just get me down. Like, you know, even if it drifts, if the cue ball drifts off the rail a little bit, I should be able to just roll down with a pure follow stroke. You're never going to foul from here, so you don't have to worry about that, really. I end up rolling into the 7, so I must have overcut the 1. But at least I cleared my fouls. Should be able to kick the 2. I don't look unsettled at this point, just based on my expression, like presence at the table. I still seem okay. And again, I'm up 2, right? Like, take your wins. Kicking into it, I call it inside. I knew the chances were slim. The 4 ball goes. So here again, if you're not familiar with 10 ball, I made a ball, but I did not call it. If he wished, he could choose to let me shoot from here. And certainly, you know, nobody's going to give up this position, especially not with a 2-10 combination in play. But there are some cases where your opponent slops in a ball and you might want to hand the table back to them because they end up hooked, or, you know, they don't have position on the next ball or something like that. It prevents some of the sloppy luck type stuff, sloppy lucky leaves that can come up in 9 ball so often. So he's going to play the 10. I think he should. There's some safes available here, but I think when you know you only need 4 games, your opponent's already got 2, you got to try to take those, yeah, because it's a good play. So he grabs that one. And that's, I don't know, it's a good exchange there, right? Like, he played some good safes. I escaped from it. I got out of position, kicked at something, kind of got unlucky with the kick result. So that's just a solid rack of 10 ball. There's nothing wrong with that. Try break, and I have, if nothing else, a rail first look at the 1. The rail first is very playable, but the problem is your position on the 2 is pretty tough. Go rail first on the 1, and then maybe it sends you around. There's just a lot of traffic. Come into it with some pace. Miss the rail first. I almost don't mind it, just because you're so likely to get hooked going into the 2. The 1's playable from here. He could run it down to the top left, but again, positional future is touchy. You could probably attack this with high right and get out, run into the 10, or get between the 10 and the 6, at least get the cue ball down there. But it's a lot of movement on the 1, so you have to give the cue ball some pace. I think he's playing in the corner. There's a safe here too, right? You just sort of chip the 1, like Z shot it towards the 10, and leave them behind the 8. Plays it really light, but good movement on the 1. Just keep it blocked. Jump shot's not really viable here, because even if you get over the 9, you're not really getting around the 7. So I do have to kick at this. The 1 appears to be frozen. I can't really tell based on the angle. But if I kick into it with enough pace, it's probably not going to matter. Just checking it. I just check for my purposes. You know, the opponent really, for their sake needs to verify that, but I don't usually give an indication because it's only relevant to me unless they get involved. I don't usually give an indication as to whether it's frozen or not. Nice. It almost goes in the side. I get a rail. So whether it's frozen or not doesn't end up mattering. He's got a jump shot at the 1. It's tough. It's tough getting over the 5, getting thin into the 1, and then you're probably going to have some pace. Again, getting on the cue ball is tough from here, but he's got to make a good hit. I'd almost rather jump over the 8 and go into the 1 from here. Don't believe the kick is there unless he likes the spin. The tables do play true. They are also somewhat slidey. Some are newer than others, especially in terms of just the cloth usage. You can tell some are much more worn in. Oh yeah, it seems like he's just gonna hop at it. Going over the 5. This might be better, just a higher percentage to hit the ball, if not make it. And he caught the 5. Yeah. Yeah, I like Michael. He's classy, you know, just a good presence at the table, good communication, no kind of like chatter, no crosstalk. The kind of guy I enjoy playing with, really cares about his game. A lot of class in the event overall, I would say. Referees were on point. The administration was great. The bracket system worked really well. Looks like I'm just kind of free drawing this down to get on the 2. Speed play. Nailed it. Not terrible to be this straight on the 2. I'm not perfect. I'm not completely straight in, but yeah, I have to pick a window. If you're trying to make the 4, then yeah, I guess you have to be close to the 8 and the 9. This is aggressive and very touchy to try to play into that window. I tried to just go straight back. Underplayed it. Oh, my bad. I need to go from the 3 to the 4. Duh. So yeah, I didn't even notice the 3. So that's why I just came pinched back off the 2, because I know I have this angle on the 3 to work around. I like playing it this way, bring the second rail in, kind of coming into the line of the shot, and it looks like I have it. If not, if I don't have the shot, the play might be sort of a stun follow, have the cue ball drop onto the 4. The 4 comes out and around, and I tuck the cue ball in behind the 5. You could probably drag draw this one too. Oh, I played it. Don't block me on the 5. All right, we're okay. I had enough of the 4. Kind of weird on the 5. Might be able to play off the 8. So you cut the 5, maybe a little thick. Cue ball comes into the rail onto the 8, and it comes down table. I think as long as I run into the 8, I'm likely to have a look at the 6, if not a shot. I think this shot sort of will make or break the run out. Yeah. Don't block me. Oh, really unlucky. Okay. So sort of what I anticipated, playing the 5 a little thicker. It rolls in off the long rail. Gives me a little more cue ball. But I came so full into the 8 that it sends it across table and it manages to get in the way. I remember this shot, highlight reel. This is a 10 ball call basically, so I know that I can kick at the 6 if I hold the cue ball down there. I said I'm calling the 7 in the side, so I know the line is there to kick into the 6, and that the 7, it's not hanging, but there's a good edge of the 7 to send it in the side pocket. Pretty cool. Yeah, you gotta love when those work out. I'm kind of floating now. That's the kind of shot, though, you pull that one off and you want to take a lap. Take a breath or two, kind of settle and come up with your plan. I'm not rushing it necessarily, but you can see I'm moving quick. I'm a little agitated. I'm just trying to zip this down the rail to the top right. Played safe. Put him behind. Just wanted to put him behind the 9. Doesn't work out too bad. I really like that decision, that strategic decision. You just pulled off a cool shot. Could you bank the 6? Could you try to run it down the rail? Sure, you could try, but keep your opponent on their heels. Give them a hard kick. Yeah, makes a good hit on it. Give me a shot, Michael. Yeah. There's something there. I think that's the right strategy. I think that's the kind of quality of decision that I needed to maintain in this set, and I know that it gets away from me at some point. I'm sure that we'll see where. But as it stands, I've got the upper hand in the match. The 6 is cuttable, but it's so thin. The scratch is going to come into your mind. I think it's more likely to get above the side pocket. It's probably better to play safe. You can send the 6 into this rail and back down, top center of the short rail, and create distance. Or maybe you call the bank, right? You go this way, have the cue ball drift up table. Call the bank where I'm standing, top left. Looks like I'm playing the cut, letting the cue ball go loose, overcut it, and it does not cooperate. Give him a little tap because obviously I was trying to make that ball. He gets blocked. The 1 rail kick is tough here, I think, because the 9 ball's going to be in the way. You might be able to get at it with spin. Oh no, he can just shoot it in. Darn, didn't block him. Yeah, a little rail first that way. He's fine. And now this is going to give him some juice, right? This is going to give him some momentum. He's just got to clutch up on these. It's pretty straightforward for 550 plus, though. I probably would have tried to get cuter on the 10, but I think this is the thing, you know, none of these shots are that long on a bar table and you just got to clutch up. Good play. He's halfway. That's a good break. Cue ball squatted down, make a bunch of them. Pretty good control. Yeah, made 3 balls on the break. Good shot at the 3. Should be able to get around for the 4. 2 rails around for the 4 in the same corner. I've got the cut edge on this, right? Maybe I don't like it. Yeah, I'm hesitating on it, like I'm worried I'm gonna miss, like I'm gonna foul. This should be cuttable though. Oh, I guess not. Yeah, I think that was it. I was just scared of it. So I went into it too full, ensuring that I wasn't going to make contact with the 8. And as a result, I ended up missing the 3. Look at his momentum. That was the shift in the set, guys. That last rack. Yeah, he's in attack mode now. Just grazes off the 7 on the way through. He's going to get a little funny on the 4. He's got to make a recovery here. And no easy shape on the 5. So fascinating, right? Just like that, you sort of get stuck. You'd hate to have to play safe from here. He wants to shoot. Yeah, he's going to call it up there. Maybe a bit of a two-way. It's a good play. Not much of a reward on the 5. Again, he doesn't want to have to go safe from here, but yeah, there's not great options. Call safe. Try to hide me behind the 8. Can't really tell how. Maybe just put the cue ball on the left and the 5 ball on the right side of the 8. Okay, he was trying to put, yeah. He wanted to split them basically, right? Like the 5 here and the cue ball here. I have an edge on the 5. And I was looking at the cross bank to the left side here. Don't know that I have enough of it. Then I was looking at the cue ball line coming off the 5. Not a lot here. Coming thin off the 5 and sending the cue ball up table could work because then the 5 banks out and is blocked by the 7. Looking at banking the 5 towards the 10. Don't know if that plays. I think I remember this outcome though. I'm just going to try to create distance here. Maybe get coverage behind the 7. I hit it so bad, man. There's the attitude shift for me. And additional momentum for him. It's tough. Really tough. The intention was to go thin into the 5, right, and leave the cue ball literally anywhere up here except in the pocket. And then the 5 should end up sort of out in no man's land, if not blocked by the 7. But just give that one up. Pretty tough. I'm going to go back to the table, or the chair, feeling pretty salty. I like the decision here to just roll through. I usually like follow on those shots. Goes to the top side of it, which is fine. Gives him a little more room to get into the window. Stop shot here puts him on the 7 in the bottom left. He's having to shoot off the rail, which nobody likes that. But stunning out, trying to get too much out of the cue ball is dangerous. So he'd probably just take his medicine here and shoot from the rail. Could draw back, I guess, for the 7 on the left side. Decided to pinch back. This is an interesting play too. Pretty advanced decision to get closer to the side pocket to where your cueing is a little better. Instead of shooting over the rail, you can be shooting over the side pocket, so you have full access to the cue ball. You'll see the pros do that a lot. They'll put the cue ball along the rail, draw it up along the rail so that it's over the side pocket instead. Smart. He didn't quite get there, but the plan was smart. Oh, Michael. Kind of a funny leave. You have to be happy to get this table back, but man, 7's blocked by the 8. On a valley table, you can You can swerve these in, sort of. You know, like roll it in off the long rail, but that is not going to happen here. I think I end up having to shoot a combo. No, maybe the 7 goes. Maybe the 7 goes clean. It's just really thin. Whoa, it did. Wow. Didn't look like it from back here. Luckily, the guy at the table knows what he's doing sometimes. This is a good recovery, and it's supposed to help with my attitude. Good confident stroke there, too. And, you know, to be clear with that 8-ball, you could certainly play it one rail with follow. Drawing off one rail is fine. You gotta love that. But I looked crummy still coming away from the table. I wasn't happy. Just got a bad attitude sometimes. No love on the break. Probably gonna push from here. I think the play with a push is probably put the cue ball in over here. You don't want to leave any offensive options. Leave a bit of a head scratcher for your opponent about what to do with a 1. Give them a defensive option, but not a great defensive option. Push and just move the 10 a little bit, keep him up above the 1 ball. I did give him an easier safety this way instead of leaving him on the side rail. Now he's on the short rail, and even though he's shooting from the short rail, he should be able to just roll into the 1, send it down table, and with follow, the cue ball tracks over on top of the 7. I'd be pretty surprised if he did anything but that. I think that's the play from here. Yeah, I mean, like, you got to return that way. Just dared him to do it. That's the thing with the push. It's like a game unto itself, right? It's really fascinating to me. And you want to offer your opponent an option, maybe hoping that they'll take the bait into doing something silly, something that you might not do, but not wanting to give them the power to do something that could debilitate you. It's really crazy. 1 rail kick at the 1 ball here, call it in the side just for fun. That back edge of the 1 to cut it in the side is so severe. I don't know if it's even on from back here, but might as well. Just make a good hit. Oh, got it. Ended up being pretty thin. Here again, I made a ball. He could give me the table back, and I would have to deal with this 1 ball. But I'm not sure that he would, because he's got to look at the 1. Doesn't have great options with the 1. Maybe just goes thin off it. Tries to put the cue ball back down table. The 1 either rolls at the 7 or up above the 7. Hard to control it. Tough spot. Played safe. I think the plan was to go full into the 1, have the cue ball come back and stay under the 3, which is a great play. Look at my pace. So I'm going into attack mode myself because I have to shake things up. I need 3 games. He's halfway there. I'm keeping him locked down. I got a little bit of fortune in the last rack to steal that one. I need to run this out. Immediately get out of shape because I I just needed to shoot a stop shot, and then it's a stop shot from here. Pinch up and get on the 3 to get on the 4. 5's hanging. Gotta do a little bit of work now. So the attack mode pace betrays me, but should be able to get on the 3. Decided to come out and around and immediately hook myself. It's such a hard decision to make, man. Like, you have to shake things up. Sometimes you have to push yourself into a winning mindset, but the timing has to be there too. You have to do it at the right time. And not that I needed to play conservative in this rack, everything was open, but I needed a beat on that 1 ball that he sold out to me. I needed a beat to properly play it to maximize my chances here, to set myself up for success. And instead I rushed up to the table and I rushed the 1 ball and I got out of line. And I gave myself a 2 ball that didn't lead me to the 3. Recovery. And get hooked again. Come on. That's pool god stuff right there. I don't know. I don't think that has anything to do with me. I hit the 3 ball really good. That's the pool gods. Like, okay, you go ahead and kick in this 3 ball, but you're not getting a reward for it. You're not getting what you want. You could dart stroke this. Maybe it hasn't set in yet. Maybe I used the dart stroke on the last one because it was so close to that 2 ball. But I'm going to try to sidearm this, and I guarantee you, I don't remember specifically, but I just know that my sidearm jump was not showing up for me. Whereas a year ago, I was hitting them very routinely. I'm not getting over this ball. Yeah, I don't think I haven't realized it yet. Such a weird thing. The wheels just came off. I got fortunate here. Unless the 6 goes in the left side. If the 6 doesn't go in the left side, I got really fortunate in blocking the 7. If the 6 does go on the left side, then all he has to do is end up above the shot line on the 5 to pinch off of it and get below the 6, drop in under the 6. If the 6 doesn't go on the side, then he needs to be pretty straight or above the 5, kind of the same spot, and he could theoretically just roll into the 6 to try to develop it and push it out. It's tough though because you're not guaranteed to get the 6 into a makeable location, and you don't want to have to play that combo, the 6 into the 7. Comes out and around. He's got an angle to work with. Lots of options from the 5 to the 6, but yeah, he's got to make his decision. If it goes, then he should be able to just float down. Okay, gets down below it. Must go. Absolute worst case, it might even go in the bottom left. Looks like it does. You could roll that down. I like his pace here. Yeah, good play. I like his pace because he's clearly still looking ahead. He's wanting to make these balls. He's wanting to attack, but he's not letting it compromise his setup and his pre-shot routine. You either get straight in on the 8 and draw back straight for the 10, or leave an angle on the 8 and come out and around. He just wants to go straight at it. He's like on the shot line, maybe a little above the shot line. Watch out for the side pocket here if you overcook it. But even just a stop shot's fine. Watch out for the side pocket, dude. Oh, that's tough. You hate to see it, love to see it. I don't know. Mostly just hate to see it, I think. Here's where things start to turn. I mean, they already did, I guess. But this rack in particular is fascinating. So there's a decently open layout here. The 3 ball is playable, I believe, in the top right. The 9 and the 10 will go once the 3's taken care of. The 9 and the 10 will go in the right corner, the top right corner. Played this 1 ball a little better. Now I know my line, is here on the 3. I want to get below the 3 such that I can cut it in the corner and have the cue ball come away from the 9 and the 10. You don't need to disturb those. You also don't want to call into question the hit. Not that there's really a question, but watch the speed control here. Getting out and down almost exactly right to that shot line, maybe a little past it, but if anything, this affords me a thinner cut on the 3 that takes me up towards the 5. I know that I need to come out and across, and I want to maintain an angle on the 5 that takes me out and over for the 7. This is the point in the match where I've got enough experience, I've had enough, like little runouts, I know how to manage the adrenaline, I've got all the skills. You just have to use them, like you have to actually use them in those situations, in these pressure situations. Good play. I end up coming across the 5, which is fine. You want an angle on the 7. So even if I can't manipulate the cue ball too much from the 5, you still, center table is probably even too far. So just drift off the 5 a little bit. I yield to him because I think he was at the table before me. This is also a tactical decision on my part because I want to give myself a breath to get good on the 7. Get in your arm, execute this shot. Yeah, it's a funny thing. Early game, we learn to get position, and you kind of tend to overplay the getting straight in on your next ball, which feels good and it makes that ball makeable. There's still some artifacts of that in my game that I'm trying to train out, working on just leaving angles all the time. Because then without the angles, you have to work a little harder, like on that 7 ball. And even here, like on the 8 ball, a little more of an angle would have been nice. But I know that the 9 and the 10 go, I can get at them by rolling out and through, high inside, or I can stun off and play into this window. Anywhere down here is totally fine on the 9 ball. This is starting to look like a break and run to put me on the hill. And as soon as I get off of this 8 ball, my head just goes nuts. It's a good play. Good speed. Totally fine. I'm on the shot line for the 9 ball. I want to pause it here. So I called the ref because the template was in the way. And I don't think, it didn't really like interfere with the shot necessarily, but I also wanted to give myself a second to breathe. And I didn't want there to be any chance of things like sliding or skidding or doing anything stupid. Meanwhile, I had enough time to severely overthink this 9 ball, and I set up fine, and I do my breathing, and I get down fine, and I'm elevated because I want to draw back. This is a 10 out of 10 shot for me, and I hitch this 9 ball. Look at how angry I get. So angry. Oh my goodness, I feel it now. Play a very capable run down to the 9 and the 10. Perfect shape on the 9 to get on the 10. A 10 out of 10 shot for me, a shot that I would never ever normally miss, even in pressure situations. And the nerves of this match and just the adrenaline burning put this hitch in my stroke, and I couldn't fire in that straight in ball to draw it back to get up above the 10. That stings. That break and run to get on the hill would have made all the difference here. And one of us was going on the hill with this rack, right? So he's going to steal the 9 and the 10 here, and steal isn't even the right term, you know? He's going to be offered the opportunity of making those balls. Got through it. I am tilted after that. I am absolutely on tilt. And then look at what happens. Look at this other crazy opportunity here. A scratch and 2 balls down. Everything's open basically. The 3 to the 5 might get a little funny, but normally this is a very runnable table for me. Am I going to be able to put that together with all this pressure on and me getting pissed at myself and like talking myself out of winning these games? That 9 and 10 ball, man, haunting me. Thought about that for weeks. I know you guys have been there. Crazy game. Deciding where to get on the 2, you know, do you just accept a bit more of the shot on the 2, put the cue ball here? You could certainly do what I'm looking at and roll down here. And I think the consideration at this point is, I might not trust myself for that long ball anymore. So I'm going to shape the 2 on the left side, knowing that I want to make the shots a little easier. Didn't play great shape here, but you know, it's still a makeable 2 ball. Argument could be made that this is about as difficult, making the 2 and then shaping the cue ball back up and down. It's about as makeable as the 2 ball would have been up here with a stop shot, but played it fine. The window for the 5 is, yeah, pretty much anywhere down here. 5 plays on the left side, and then you can snip out and back for the 6 in the top left. This is another opportunity in the match. You know, putting me on the hill, he gives me ball in hand on the break. You snag this rack, you have to let yourself feel good about that. You have to use that kind of momentum. It's just gonna fuel your game. Played into the window. That's a good shot. You got to know how to do that one. Playing off that hanger of a 3 ball and getting back down table there. Look at the 7 on the left side. I think it goes. It's not super comfortable, but as long as you're up above it, it's fine. So I think in this case, just make this 5 ball, either snip back out or come down and back. Decided to just like stun off it. This is fine, I guess. Like I knew I was always going to have a shot at the 6, but now I'm forced to contend with follow with outside to get up above the 7, or yeah, follow with inside to play into this window. Less movement on the cue ball ultimately, and you're pretty full on the 6 to begin with, so you probably don't even need a lot of inside. Just a touch here to straighten it out. Easy to overplay that. Good pace. Double check. Using my skills. Imagine that. Pressure. Breathe it in. You just use it, man. Like, this is why you're here. And I'm looking at the 10 on the side, which is interesting. Probably just because I'm so flat on the 9. Didn't have a lot of angle to get off the 7. So I'm going to spin off the left side of the 9. Draw off the left side of the 9. Get out under the 10. Hit that good. Little shoulder roll. Settle. You gotta settle. Felt that one. My goodness. Hill. Why did I feel like I was gonna miss that 10 ball? Ball's down. Have a shot. It's crazy, man. It's one of the nerviest matches that I had had in a very long time. And even since. With one notable exception, by the way. Which we'll get to that. I don't know. At this rate, guys, I have so much backlog, and I'm trying, but life's getting me. I have so much backlog. The U.S. Amateur Championship just happened. The preliminary, qualifier thing just happened. And I've got a bunch of footage from that. And I want to get that out for you all, but man, I just don't know when that's going to be. Anyway, this is a table. This is a table that has pool balls on it. You might have noticed, and some of them can go in pockets. Almost all of them, actually. Pretty easily. And so 6 ball is the head scratcher. Because the 6 doesn't go in the top right or the side, so which means you have to get down here, which is a little weird from the 4. So I decided to get over on this side of the 4, which is a good idea. And now, theoretically, I would... Not that. I would come off the 4 and land in here. Yeah. Getting past it would be fine, but you get into a really tight window over there. Because the other thing is, you want to be out here so that you have enough of an angle on the 6 to get out and across for the 7. Touch of inside, probably, because I can't help myself. Played it good. Pretty flat on the 6, that's the problem. Overplayed it just slightly, and now I'm pretty straight on the 6 to where I can't manipulate the cue ball that much. Just drawing it back, and I'm also awkwardly cueing over the 9. Just drawing it back to here means the cut on the 7 is really severe. What I'm looking at is bridging over the 9 ball. I'm trying to hammer the 6 and draw back down table to leave myself here, which nobody's gonna like that. Anything about that, really. I think I'm better off just playing a stop shot, really. Maybe a little bit of stun, and just accept the harder cut on the 7 from up table. If not, the bank. Because this is for the set, man. Don't do something silly now. I'm gonna do something real silly. Which is... miss the ball, come off the points, bank back across corner, and I just verify with him that it's ball in pocket. It's called pocket. So even though it went in like a goofy circus kind of way, we verify that, and the refs confirm that it is indeed ball in pocket. So woohoo! Pool's funny sometimes. Make a nice looking recovery shot on the 7, but unfortunately I'm not afforded with great shape on the 8. There was, and this doesn't come up often for me anymore because everyone needs to appreciate that luck is a part of this game, and feeling guilty about it is just you putting yourself at a disadvantage, but some of that was coming up nonetheless, even though I'm very well aware of that and somewhat well practiced at that at this point in my game. That was still coming up for me. It's like, man, if I end up winning based on some stupid fluke on this 6 ball, etc., like, what's the thinking there? You gotta take those when they present themselves. Playing the combo, playing the 8 into the 9, which is playable, but it's hard to control the 8. Oh, look at this. The thinking was, instead of slow rolling it, because it makes it harder to cue at the 8, keep the cue ball in the center of the table, and then wherever the 8 ball ends up, at least I'm going to have a look at it and probably a shot at it. Pretty unfortunate, I would say, for it to catch the 9 in that exact way instead of keeping the 8 in this sort of 1x1 quadrant down there, that it came thinner off the 9, rolled off the short rail up into a difficult slice on the 8. Not just a difficult slice on the 8, but a slice that doesn't really avail you great position. I'm probably having to consider high ball to land the cue ball back down below the 10. And I slide it into the long rail, and it does not go in. That's tough, man. That's a stinger. Michael's got to make a decision here. I think a lot of players would just chip it, just sort of like drop the cue ball here under the 10 instead of working the cue ball around and trying to get up above the 10. He's going to double think that though. Second guess that. It's probably the English there. Yeah, there's a couple ways to get at this, but safest is best. Hill, 2 balls on the table. Whoa, boy. He did something pretty different. I don't know if that was the intention, or if he was trying to maybe get into the 10 ball and develop it a little bit. Comes away with a shot. It's not a gimme. Oh, a little body English here. Slide it in. Show him you can do it. He hit it good. Oh, good match. Good match, good match, good match. I need to go run around outside and yell, which is probably what I did when I was at the championships. Nonetheless, that was the second round, because I had to buy. Second round, so I move over to the backside and continues to be handicapped. And just so you know what to expect from next time, the split is insane in this next one. The handicap is absolutely insane. I've never encountered anything like it. I can't say that you're going to enjoy it because it might be hard to watch, but it is a video that has pool playing in it, is something that I can say. So there's that. Thanks for checking this out, guys. I'm trying to get these videos out there. Like I said, it's been a lot. I'm doing my best, so bear with me. Thank you for being patient, and make sure that do the YouTube stuff. Share the channel with people. That helps a lot too, just to get new eyes on it. People who might not naturally discover the channel. Like it and subscribe and do all that stuff. Helps out a lot as well. And yeah, like I said, I'll get the videos out as soon as I can. So you'll see more of me soonish.